Since the ruling All Progressives Congress embarked on its presidential campaign around the country, many have questioned the absence of President Muhammadu Buhari from the campaign rallies being held across Nigeria. However, the APC Presidential Campaign Council has announced that President Muhammadu Buhari would attend just 10 state rallies of the ruling party's presidential standard bearer for the 2023 election, Bola Tinubu. In a swift reaction, the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, said the president's decision to join Tinubu's campaign in just 10 states is not surprising and a confirmation that Buhari had been foot-dragging in campaigning alongside Tinubu, in quotes, who has brought them more grief than glory, end of quote. The PDP, in a statement by its director of media, Basharun Dele Momodu, added it was obvious that President Muhammadu Buhari and many senior APC chieftains are palpably embarrassed about the quality of their presidential campaigns, which has been extremely lackluster. Joining us on the show this morning to discuss Buhari's absence from the party's campaign activities so far and his latest decision to campaign for the party's presidential candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in just 10 states, is Professor Ussiju Medaner, former APC Organizing Secretary. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prof. Thank you very much for joining us. Well,
good morning, Doctor. Compliment of the season.
Same to you. Thank you very much. Well, I already defined the subject. Now, the president will join the APC campaign trail after the last time he was at the flag-off in Jos. That was on November 15. Now, he has chosen 10 states. Why those 10 states? Why not 24 states that the candidate needs to get at least 25% in those 24 states? And what do you think is the value of his joining the campaign train for the Ussiju the Ussiju presidential campaign?
Once again, thank you for having me. You know, the president has given a directive to the FEC members, what I mean the ministers at the first instance, about the campaign. If you look at it, I think it's a strategy for the campaign to take shape. Right now, the campaign has taken shape and the governance has not suffered. And adding value to the campaign, when you talk about adding value, you should remember the president, right from 2003 to 2015 to 2019, actually he has that value. He still has those supporters intact. Is to consolidate what has been gained. If you look at it horizontally and vertically, the campaign now is taking shape and it has gone very, very, very far. And if you take the 10 states that he has chosen to go, you know, in politics, you have to look at the numbers. You have to look at your strengths. You have to look at where you have to augment. So I think the president's choosing those states is to go and look at them, look at what has been done in those states, and look at what should be done again to the people. And if I will give you some kind of instances, if you look at it, the campaign now has segmented, has gone back to zones. You see the vice presidential candidate, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, has gone to community base to get in touch with those that matters in the communities. So after the rally, you know, rally is like an impressive kind of impression outing to go and show strength, but the vote is in the polling units. And now he has concentrated in the northern part of the country where you have almost 86,000 polling units in the zone, and more than 4,000 wards, and some 400 and something local governments. This is how this election will go. This is what so many experts are talking about, structure. Structure is not just about the people, the units. Those are the main issue. I think if you could remember, APC did a registration, that is membership registration, in almost 170,000 polling units. In Article 10 of the APC Constitution, it shows how the organizations are. It's only APC that has those polling units organ. And those polling unit organs, you need to get in touch with them. You need to go there and have votes in those polling units. That is what constitutes all your votes. If you come to some of the parties, and you see when people are talking about structure, this and that and this, it means if you look at Labour, they have no candidate in 151 federal constituencies. They have filed only 80 senators out of 109. And if you go by this is what all structure is talking about. And you need to have agents at least from those polling units up to the states where you have the collection official from the ward, then you have in the local government. That is how it is. And that is how election is being done anywhere in the world. And I think APC has done all what it can, and they have all the structures around for them to get votes. I think we're good to go.
All right, thank you, Professor Medaner. You said yourself that the value of the president at campaign rally is very high because the president has his own supporters. So one would have thought that he would actually have galvanized those supporters, particularly in states, in his own home state of Katsina, Kano, big state, in terms of number of voters. But away from that, I'd like you to respond to that. But also, in addition to that, would you like to respond to the PDP's statement that perhaps the reason why the president is not going around with the presidential candidates of the APC, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is because, why he's foot dragging in their words, is because he's brought more grief than glory, that he is not a candidate to be supported. What's your statement? What's your take on that?
Let me just take us back to 2015. PDP up till now, I don't think they are ready for governance. They are ready to govern people. In 2015, PDP concentrated on shifting blame. They become like an opposition while they were in power. All what they are doing is talking about personality, certificate, age, what have you. Those are the frivolous issues. They are not analyzing their manifesto to people. This is how they should concentrate. They have no business with APC, what APC is doing, who in APC. You see, election is like a football match. If you are playing with Eimba and Barcelona, you have to look at the players in those places. PDP in the northern part of the country, they are going to face almost 14 APC governors. In the southwest, you have this. APC has 21 governors. And these 21 governors, none of them that has come out conspicuously to say, oh, I'm not with this campaign train. The president, you see, 2 ministers that were assigned in the campaign. The spokesman of the campaign, Festus Keyamo, and His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, who is now the director on the EPM, that is Election Planning and Monitoring. So I think that PDP, I'm giving them just a free consultancy here. They should tell what they have done in 16 years and what they think they missed and where they have gone wrong and how are they going to make up to Nigerians. Not talking about personalities. Nigerians are tired of talking of personalities. They want to see something on the ground. They want to see how you are going to consolidate what you have done, not just rhetorics. They are tired of rhetorics.
Okay. But in all fairness, some people will ask you that what records does President Muhammadu Buhari want to campaign on if he draws the campaign trail? Because it's been a litany of failures. I'm sure you just heard about the Edo incident again. Since March last year, it's another train attack. We've not learned our lessons. You talked about staying on the issues.
Your question...
Hang on a minute. Let me finish, please, my question.
Your question...
Professor, let me finish my question, please. I beg you.
Yeah.
You talk about staying on the issues.
Yes, I'm interjecting you because I'm not even hearing you well. Please rephrase your question like just a question, not an implied questions.
Professor, you cannot teach me my job on national
Understand?
TV.
You don't make
Please.
an implied question as a journalist, my brother.
Professor, you cannot teach
Just
me my
ask
job.
me the way other journalists ask me.
Okay.
I cannot hear you well, please.
The litany of failures, like I said.
No, go to the first question, please, not secondly. I have not heard you well.
What is the president going to campaign on the campaign trail, holding to the fact that there's been a litany of failures in the economy and in security? My second question, you talked about people not addressing the issues. Your campaign, just like other campaigns, and in all fairness and balancing, has been dogged by personal attacks. Your presidential candidate was calling somebody the other day, customs officer, sorts of insult, Mr. Stingy. Most of your campaigns, your presidential candidate doesn't even address the manifesto. He went to Edo State. He said he would turn Yahoo boys around. The Edo State government has issued a statement for blacklisting their youth as Yahoo boys. And it's just been abuses. Your presidential candidate said another candidate will labor in vain. And, it's just been a litany of abuse. So I've not heard anything in the way of manifesto by your political party. So I'm shocked that you're saying that people are not staying on the issues when your party doesn't stay on the issues.
My brother, let me answer your amplified campaign for opposition, because your questions, I've been watching you for over time. Most of your questions, they are like campaign against APC. When you said comparatively, PDP was in power 16 years, and there is a comparative analysis. If you say we never had it this worse, that means we have to go back and see how we inherited the government, what we have done. You are talking about insecurity. You and I know how this country was. Even in your studio, I must be searched for people to come. This, your crew that are here, before they pass my gate, they must be searched with some mental detectives apparatus. Now, let's go back to BBC report of 2004. Between Kaduna and Plateau, 50,000 people were killed. This is BBC report that I'm just giving you. Now, you see violence or crime in nature. You see, if people decided to come here, or any criminal that decided to attack me here, no security can stop him. Why? Because it's the ability of that security to arrest that person. And I think in that Edo, I read that one person was arrested, some people were rescued. And again, if you say what this government have done, I don't have to tell you, or I don't have to, let's look at it this way. In terms of infrastructure, you are a journalist, you can bear witness what this government have achieved conspicuously in terms of infrastructure. Now, there are so many projects that this government is planning, and we talk about loans that are tied to projects. Sometimes people will come and just put rhetorics. People will just come and say, oh, this is what is happening. And I think what our candidate did in Edo, he was attacked and he replied that attack. And I think there is right to reply. And we're selling our manifestos. If you see more than 7,000 support groups, they are in the polling units selling the manifesto in both Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, and Pidgin English, going the nook and crannies of this country. Rallies, I said, they are just show of strength, show of power. But the real campaign takes place at the polling units. That is where the votes are. We are concentrating there, and we are selling our own manifesto to voters. Most of the people that I'm speaking with you, most of these voters, some of them cannot speak this language that I'm speaking with you. And that's why we have gone down into those places to interact with them. This, we are speaking or just to those elites that have taken position. They have no amount of English can convince most of them. But you have to come and explain to some Nigerians that can just shift ground. So these are the things, my brother.
Well, Prof, should INEC consider the extension of the dates for the collection of PVCs? Because many Nigerians across the country, they are concerned that INEC officials, either they do not show up or they close early, or they face serious difficulties in having access to the PVC. And we're told that if you don't have PVC, you can't vote. So what will you say to INEC? Yeah, because if they can't get their PVC, they've been disenfranchised.
Yes, I agree with you totally, and I think it's one of those things. If you look at it, almost 3 million people were affected by floods, and most of them lost their PVC maybe in that very unfortunate distance. And really, they need to, for them even to move. Some have moved from their own polling units to another place. They are now refugees in some part of the states where they were settled. So really, INEC have to look at those issues. And there are so many people that are calling for INEC to extend the collection for the PVC. So if they can do that, it will be continuously, and to me, personally, my opinion, even on the some days to the election, people can walk in and collect their PVC and vote. There is nothing there. I don't think there should be restriction on collection of PVC. It's not a campaign. And once you must have voters for you to even go for let's say, to open the polling units or polling stations. In Anambra election, I think the analysis shows that there were polling units with one voter. And it's important, that person must vote. So if he doesn't have the PVC, how is he going to vote? So really, I'm appealing personally to INEC to look into this situation, because I have seen the statistic, is alarming. So they should allow maybe extension for the collection of the PVC. And I have seen serious campaign for people to go and collect their PVC to exercise their franchise.
All right, thank you. Since we're on the topic of PVCs, I'd like to ask you, Professor Medaner, if your party, the APC, have any concerns around the readiness of INEC to conduct this election. The president, who is under your party, has promised Nigerians free, fair and credible elections, and Nigerians are looking forward to him, fulfilling that promise. What's your assessment of INEC's readiness for the elections?
No, INEC actually, if you look at it, is one of the improvement, one of the things that I will give my friend Rufai, even the improvement in our electioneering, the budget is almost ready, and INEC has been supported by the government. We have seen election not unlike the PDP times that you see only one party will be winning. You see a PDP, APC governor will be defeated at the poll. So INEC, the parties are not complaining. If you look at the IPAC, they have given kudos to what the INEC is doing. International observers, they are preparing for the monitoring and observation of the election. And I think this is a good thing. Now our democracy is becoming more stronger and stronger. And if the government of the day is not doing anything, you can't just have all those things. And you know the president, and he says he's going to do it. And he has done it in some of the states. Even in Edo, where the PDP, a governor, they come and won election, and you see there is nothing, and I think he deserves commendation on that.
Okay, two things. You quoted the BBC report. You said 2004. Maybe you might want to check it again. Is it 2014?
Yes.
And you said 50,000 people.
Check it.
Hang on a minute. You said 50,000 people died in the report.
50,000 people were checked. Just go Google. You see 50,000 people were killed in communal clashes.
50,000 people were killed in communal clashes in 2014. All right, I'll leave it out for subject to fact check.
Yes.
Anyway, but I've checked it out and I've seen what happened.
No, it's in 2004. 2004, between Plateau and Kaduna states.
Okay. So moving on from there, I would also like to ask you this. You talked about your manifesto, and you talked about the fact that, yes, you've been campaigning hard, people on the grassroots, about your manifesto and all of that, which is good, which is a good way to campaign. But why is it that your candidates just spends all the time to abuse other candidates? Nigerians want to hear the issues, not abuses. Why is that the case?
I think I have replied you. I have seen the candidate of one party, Atiku Abubakar, where he said that he stopped our candidate from bringing drugs into this country. You're not talking about that. I have seen the town hall meeting of Peter Obi, what he was saying, and you are not talking about that. I don't know whether you have a particular interest in our candidates, because I have seen series of any APC member that appeared on your program. Sometimes you leave the ethics of journalism, my brother. You'll be attacking us as if you are a campaigner.
Much you do to smear me from doing my job. You can't stop me from asking the objective questions I always ask.
It's not doing your job.
So you can keep playing your politics and enjoy yourself.
Your questions are implied questions. Let me just tell you, Dr. Ruben was a spokesman of the president under PDP. But since he left that place, he adjusted himself to a journalist. I pray that you can do that to yourself.
Professor Medaner, we thank you very much for joining us on the morning show. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We wish you all the best.